program is produced using the resources of Public Media Network in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Learn more at publicmedianet.org.
All right, here we go. Welcome to Connecting Communities, a podcast about the environment where we live, work, and play. We talk with individuals from our community and the greater Kalamazoo area who have a positive impact. I'm your co-host, Patrick Hirschberger, with Bella Baez. Say bye.
Hi.
Tonight we have guests Jerry Berrigan, Molly Mecklenburg, Mike DeWale, who are the founders. We have Jennifer Spicer, parent and neighbor, and Pereshieanna Smith, senior staff. If you want to just introduce yourself and say hi.
Good evening, Jerry Berrigan.
Hi, Molly Mecklenburg.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hello, I'm Bree.
I'm Mike. So, y'all in the Peace House.
Yes.
I have some love for the Peace House. I have interacted with you on multiple occasions for some art stuff. But you're Eastside, very community driven. You share your homes with the immediate community. Tell us what are you doing this year? What is your thing?
Yeah, well, I can start, and then people jump in. So, pretty much from the beginning, our thing has been after school and summer programming for kids, and just trying to create a space in the neighborhood where kids can come and do homework and play outside and just have fun, get to know other neighbors. It's always great to have parents involved in getting to know them as well. So it's really just a space kind of primarily designed for kids, but where we're trying to kind of just build community in the neighborhood.
When did the concept begin for this?
So the four founding members of Peace House, myself and Molly and Mike and Jen DeWale, were college classmates and friends. We went to Kalamazoo College back in the 90s. We graduated in 97. And we started talking, and we stayed friends after graduation. And, traveled the country a little bit and did various things. And in 2005, we started talking about starting a project together. And those conversations eventually led Molly and me and our young son Amos, who was 2 years old at the time, to move back to Kalamazoo, which Jen and Mike had done previously about a year earlier than that. And we wound up buying two houses next door to each other on Phelps Avenue in Kalamazoo's Eastside neighborhood. And we were young families at that time. We had, a 2-year-old, and then shortly after we moved to town, our second son was born. And shortly after that happened, Jen and Mike's oldest daughter was born. And this was right after the Kalamazoo Promise was announced, which is just this extraordinary opportunity for kids in this town and students. And we said, we want to be there for the kids. And what could that look like? And those conversations led us to build a big playground in the backyard and open up in 2009 with free summer and after-school programming for kids. And we've been open ever since.
Can I just jump in and say one thing? When we moved in 2 houses down, she was 9 years old?
Yeah, I was like
9 years old. So we've known Pri since she was 9, and she was one of the first kids that started coming to our program. So I don't know if you want to say more about that.
I was like the first kid, the first junior staff / yeah. I was really the first everything.
You kind of were.
So you said the first, you say the first YAB?
Yeah.
Tell them what YAB is.
Youth Advisory Board.
Yeah.
See, I've never been a YAB, but I've kind of been a YAB.
That's true.
Were you pre-YAB?
I was junior staff.
Okay. What is the difference between junior staff and YAB?
Just the name.
Okay.
So,
just a year.
Yeah, junior staff was kind of our first version of trying that.
Okay.
And then it kind of evolved, and then we gave it kind of a more official name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you doing as a junior staff YAB person?
This is when I was like 15, 16.
See if you can remember.
Just like really assisting the main staff, like assisting whoever's working. So it'd be like Jen and Molly working one day, Jerry and Molly, or whoever's working. We're just filling in wherever they need us to fill in at, and just helping and doing minor things with the kids, like whatever activity we're assigned to. I'm like an arts and crafts queen, so whatever we're doing with arts and crafts, that's where you go find me.
So you probably helped with the mural we painted in the back.
I actually have a selfie with you.
Ah, yes. Awesome. So when did the mural happen? Was that 23rd?
Well, there were 2 murals that we worked.
The mural at Peace House is dated 2013.
2013.
So that was
the
a long
first
time
one,
ago.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I remember getting to Peace House. I'd never been there before. And there was just like so much going on. With all these, there was a ball game happening. There was like bikes everywhere. And I'm like, all right, let's do this. But I mean, you do that all the time, right? And then you share. It sounds like you share responsibilities as families and staff to help coordinate with that program. What does a day look like in the summer?
Yeah. Do you want
Yeah, I can take that one. We like to do a lot more with kids in the summer. We're open 4 days a week for about 3 hours a day. And we just come up with every opportunity for fun and learning that we can think of. We have Open Roads Bike Program come once a week to repair bikes. We have lots of sports. We have arts and crafts. We have cooking. We do field trips to places like the Nature Center or maybe to the water park. I don't know. We continue with the reading. We continue with the math. Keep those skills sharp. Keep the summer slide from happening, and just come up with as much like ridiculous, wholesome fun as we can for that period of time. A little bit of eating, a little bit of chilling out. But yeah, just gobs of kids of all ages doing what feels good and fun for them to do, and growing a little bit along the way, we hope.
What has the response from the community been to what you guys are doing?
Well, we could.
Oh, I'm a lot about that.
I was waiting on myself.
You're doing a great job.
Okay, so like my kids started at Peace House when I first moved to the East Side. I've been on the East Side for like 12 years. Peace House probably was the first people that I met. I'm sorry, I said Peace House because I be putting them together.
That's fine. That works.
But I know they names. But no, so like when we moved to the East Side, I just had my oldest son, and he's 16 now. So like he probably started Peace House when he was probably like 5 or 6. And I got 3 other kids that also attend Peace House. Well, not my daughter no more, she's just getting older, but like she was going, like they all literally started at Peace House since they was younger. So when I was looking at Peace House, like I was nervous first, like, cause I never like let my kids go like nowhere, but I only had my son first, but now I'm putting them all together. At the time, like, yeah, Peace House is that is definitely a place that like I feel safe, and I know they're genuine. Like, you know, people that just be saying stuff and like Peace House really is about action. Like they really, I just love Peace House, honestly. Like they went through the hardest times, and my son literally, him and his boys started working at Peace House for like a couple hours. And I really love that film because it just felt like responsibility, and he's making his own money. So I just feel like that was a good opportunity for him. Like, and my youngest son, that's 8 years old. Well, he about to be 8. But he loves Peace House. Like he'll literally not check in and go straight to Peace House. Like, and like, yeah, it's like I'm pulling up. I'm like, where this boy at? This boy is at Peace House. Now, mind you, I'm panicking because I didn't know where he was. So he get off the bus and he goes straight to Peace House because it's right. You know, the bus stop is here. Peace House is right here. We literally live down the street from Peace House. So like he just always excited to go to Peace House. Like he literally loved it there. And I be excited for him because like they help him with his homework. Like they take time to help him with his homework. You know, like so if I'm already busy, I'm a single mom by myself. So like Peace House, them couple hours, I don't know about no other mom, but me, like that be helping me. Like I can get dinner prepared before they even come home. So like as soon as he get in, boom, it's back in that. Cause he already did, most of the time he literally complete his whole homework. And he literally got days. Like you can do 4 days. He'll go down there and do it the whole day. Like they take their time to help with his homework. And it's not just him writing. Like it's literally the correct stuff. And he could tell me because they take their time. So I really, really, really love that for my son. And even my middle child that's 10 years old, my daughter's 11. She hasn't really been a piece of. She come down like when they do family stuff, because like they do family stuff. That's when she come down. She just got older and just, which I always tell her like some of my people don't really got this. So I be really want her to take like like the advantage of that peace house. Get them like because like some people don't probably have like a peace house. Like
it's and you're spot on with that, because I think there's things that we have with Parks and Rec and everything that you can do for like, at the after school programs that works out, and there's different schools that do shuttling for those kind of programs. But I mean, not everybody can do that.
Yeah, like my son, like, not even go to Boys and Girls Club, he would prefer Peace House over there. So like, I don't know, like they just been there like for me, like even if like, not just for my kids, like it's just like something I could just go to them and just talk or something, or like they even had this mother's thing that we sat down and did, and I loved it. Like we got to make stuff, and they also like let the kids play, basically watch the while the moms went in the area to do like this craft thing, and I really love that. Like I really love that they genuine people. Like they not like there's no backdoor stuff with people. Like they really just genuine people. And I just love that over the past years that we just got to grow with them, and my kids got to like go to a safe place. Because other than that, like if I'm not taking them nowhere, my kids prefer to be in the house.
Well, and I just want to jump in because her kids are awesome.
Yeah.
They really are. Like Akeem, like she's saying, he comes down and he's like, he wants to do his homework, and he sits there and he like does it and he takes care of it, and then he wants to read a book, and then he wants to cut up paper and glue it. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
Like every
he likes
day.
this, but yeah,
He likes doing that stuff. But he is like super sweet. And then Amarian is like, he is honestly the sweetest kid. He comes up and gives us a hug every day, and he's like becoming a leader, even though he's only 10 years old.
Yeah.
He's like keeping other kids who are getting escalated. He like helps them to stay calm. He like talks them down. And then Anthony's been a great leader too. The oldest son.
I love that y'all know the kids.
We know them so well.
I'll be like, yes. Like,
well, and I could do the same thing with Pre's kids too. I could name every single thing that they
like I love
about their personality and like what they bring to us. And I think that is kind of what makes it unique, because we're really neighbors and we're friends and we're running this program and we just want to get to know people. So it's very like, it's, you get to know the kids.
You're taking the village. I'm sorry. You're taking it takes a village to its core.
That's what I was gonna say. Like when you think of Peace House, it's a village. Like it's more than just friends that's coming together. It's a family that looks out for each other. You know that your kid is safe. You know that they're fed. You know that they're warm, because you know what? If they don't come with hats and gloves, we got it for you. If you want to go jump in a snowman and pile and do whatever it is that you want to do, they have snow pants that they provide so that the kids can go out and play and nobody feels left out. Marianne is the youngest. No, Akeem is the youngest. Yeah, to me, he likes to get it all done, so then the rest of the week he can play.
And I'm like, they be sitting there, because I do. If I'm doing it with him, like I do one day, this day, this day. Man, he got a Peace House right on Monday, and he'll come back, his whole package done.
He's very organized.
Yeah. Well, the teachers are organized too.
Akeem has this incredibly inquisitive mind. Like I remember, this is a couple years ago now. So how old is he now?
He'll be 8 on the 20th.
Let's say he was 6 years old when this conversation happened. But we were sitting at the picnic table under the pine tree, and he's looking up at the pine tree and the needles on the pine tree, and he's saying, "Why are these leaves different than the leaves over there?" And so we just start talking nature. Right? And well, let's talk about bugs. Like I want to know about bugs, and how come this bug is like this and that bug is like that? And like we did that for at least 20 minutes, just like going back and forth, and he just wanted to know more and more and more about the world, and And so that's some of the stuff that we get out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's some of the stuff that we get out of it. Like if we didn't do Peace House, I wouldn't be able to have that conversation with him, and my life wouldn't be as good, right?
And he definitely opened up here because, like, he don't really talk to half of them people at the school. She he's very quiet. I'm like, quiet? I'm literally like, he quiet? Like, what? Like, everybody know it came, like, he literally talks. So I'm like, he just comfortable. I even asked the doctor, but I'm like, he's just comfortable with people that he's more comfortable with. So I just noticed that he do talk to y'all, but he do talk to certain people more, like, even as, he's not talking to them like that at all. So it's just something that I observed.
I think people that find community building to be their passion understand that it's a two-way street. Mm-hmm. Like, just because you're giving, you're getting. You are receiving by doing that. It's never you're just giving, because it's just community creates more community, and that's the lovely thing about it. I mean, and this is embodied that in a very small zone of the Phelps Hill, which is great. Now, how do you invite people in to participate? How does that work?
Well, at this point, there's a lot of word of mouth that brings people to us because we have that reputation in the neighborhood. But when we notice there's a new family that moves into the neighborhood, we'll go and meet them oftentimes, especially when summer comes around. Kids are looking for things to do, so we want them to take part in what we have going on. But we don't do a heck of a lot of promotion of our program right now, as far as like social media or posters or flyers or anything like that, because
do you have to?
we really don't.
Yeah.
And we have. It's really fun to have a group of kids who belong not just to the programs and to Peace House, but also to the neighborhood and the place.
Yeah. Like,
all these kids are coming from the same neighborhood. They're all coming to us under their own power. We don't have a bus that goes around to pick kids up. What happens at Peace House continues out in the neighborhood, and it continues at home. And I think we like that a lot.
One of the things we found is that, the younger kids who come to Peace House are almost all within like an easy walking distance, a couple of blocks, right? But then as kids get older, so a little more about the Youth Advisory Board, which is our high school employment program. Jennifer's son Anthony is a great leader in that now, and as kids are approaching ninth grade, we're helping them develop to be ready for that, because it's an opportunity that everyone who comes up through the program does enjoy, and sometimes a kid will come to us and say, I've got a friend from the neighborhood who hasn't been here yet, but I think they would be a really good fit. And if we feel like we can take that person on, we do so. So our high schoolers, some of them live farther away, like 6 or 8 blocks.
Or maybe they've even moved out of the neighborhood, but they come back.
They can safely get themselves back, at least for the shifts that they work. And that's a very important piece for the overall scene, because the high schoolers they're both figuring out themselves and their lives and who they are and what they're trying to do. But at the same time, they're being watched very carefully by the younger kids, and so they're role models, right? And it's great for the program when the high schoolers are living and modeling and advocating for Peace House values, which Anthony does every time. And sometimes his friends are a little bit like out, and he pulls them back in, right? And
responsibility builder.
I'm hearing you mention like Peace House values. Could you expand on what you mean by that?
Yeah, care and respect basically is the basis of it. That every individual is cherished and belongs, right? That if someone is there who's new, that they're welcomed in. If someone is having a hard day, that we try to come together around that person and improve their day. And ultimately, the goal that we're looking for there is to build community and trust in the neighborhood.
So we used to go by respect, understanding, nonviolence, and safety.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, good
thank
map.
you.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Back when we had our acronym.
is this program, is it free for community members to come be a part of?
absolutely.
Wow.
No family has ever paid anything to do one of our programs.
I wish we could. I wish we could show you the space because it actually is a really cool space for being in the city. We have like nice deep lots, and so we have this kind of huge backyard because we combined 2 yards, and then we bought like a side lot, and then we have like a little piece of woods, and so the space itself is like it's a great place for kids to play because they can straight up just run and play kickball and play on the playground. We have a swing thing
I
now.
love swings.
It puts me in the mind of
The
that
swing
show
thing is
Out
nice.
of the Box when they used to go into the box and it was like a whole new world.
Yeah.
It's like once you go in the backyard of Peace House, it's like, whoa, what is all this open space? It's a giant playground. Like, where did this come from? You can't see it from the streets.
Mature trees.
Well, we've worked
so
really
it's-
hard to like plant trees and like make it beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Because like kids need to be around nature and they need to be around like beauty as well. So that's definitely a priority is to make it like as beautiful as we can. So, and having your mural helps with that, right?
Very
The mural
much so,
that we did together. So, yeah, there's a lot of different elements that we're kind of going
That
for.
the hill area of East Main Hill on the back side of it or on the eastern side of it kind of goes to where like the Agopian and the families that live to the east of you, where it makes some natural cavities of nature. And I feel like just how you built off of that, it's like you said, it's a very special, it's a hidden place
Yes.
that
Out of the
is
box.
so alive.
Yeah, we get all kinds of deer and other critters and try to have a garden. Yep,
Well, you either have a garden or you have deer. It's hard to have both.
right.
So I'm curious about for your guys' field trips. You mentioned that you take the kids sometimes out different places. Is it the transportation something you guys manage? Do you have like a bus, a Peace House bus? Or?
We don't have a bus. We've always, we're a little bit non-traditional in how we run. So we use our own personal vehicles and we do use permission slips and stuff. So we make it legit, but we do not have a bus and we're using our own vehicles to transport kids. Yeah.
However, when we have a working relationship with the Kalamazoo Nature Center,
Oh, yeah.
and so for field trips to the Nature Center, they come and pick us up.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
We
And
like
so-
that.
So over the summer, Kira was with us every once a week that we were open, and alternated with programming at Peace House and a field trip. So like that, there were enough weeks so that every kid got to participate and go to the Nature Center and do all the things that they have to do there, go play in the creek.
But really, the popular field trip this past summer, we went to kick pool.
Mm.
Oh my gosh! And we've done that in the past, but for some reason,
But this year we did it twice.
we went back this summer, and it happened to be the coldest day of the summer. I don't know how that happened the first time, but the kids were shivering, but they were just having such a great time. And we had the families come, so like people, like parents were there, and it was really fun. We did it again because it was just so popular. So I think that's one that we'll keep going back to.
Big Pool is in a great location because you have the beauty of the creek there with Upjohn Park, and you have so many things that you can do on top of that, the skate park. And how do
Good playground,
how do you manage, like, because you have your lives, you have work outside of that. How do you do scheduling for that? You've done this for so long. You must have found a combination that works.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of juggling that has happened. I mean, one thing that makes everything possible, and really, especially as our kids were growing, and they needed a lot of attention from us, the interdependent relationship that the four of us had is really important. Like, we'd watch each other's kids, we'd make each other dinner, we'd take care of chores and different responsibilities together or in common. And making Peace House happen, it always requires the involvement of lots of great volunteers. It's our youth advisory board, it's our senior staff, but it's also retired teachers who have heard about us from church, or Jeter's leaders have been volunteers at our place, or honor students who are looking for community service hours, or just random people who are looking for something good to do on an afternoon, or our friends that we just sort of pull into doing things. Thanks, and without all of that support, which is so much, we wouldn't be able to come close to doing what we do. And we've been really fortunate to get not just that kind of support, but really generous financial support to pay for all the things that it takes to run a program. Our model has been like our families have day jobs to support ourselves, and that's what we do. And then we raise money to pay for the supplies and pay for certain bills and things like that that come with running Peace House. And there's always been enough. Sometimes it's felt a little tight. Other times it's been a lot more relaxed. But it's because of the generosity of the community and the people who also feel like they belong to Peace House that we're able to make it work. For like 18 years now.
No, I echo that completely. It is very much a community effort. So, I mean, we do have occasional meetings to kind of keep everything on track, but we couldn't do it without the people around us. So
I feel like your passion gives others that same spark, and brings that joy from communicating and participating with others.
Well, and I don't know, I think they get to hang out with really cool kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once Pre was a really cool kid, now Pre brings us really cool kids.
that's the cool thing with Bree, because we knew her as a kid, and now we have her kids.
Do you also live in the neighborhood then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I live down the street from
Cool.
up the street from
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
But I was just talking about that on the way here. I was like, how ironic is it that I move around the corner from Peace House? I've always lived not too far from Peace House. Like, always been walking distance. And even, like, my mom moved in her house 96. This is before they even graduate college. So that's how long I've been in the same spot. But, like, when we was just talking about, like, how y'all do things, I've never seen Peace House really under pressure. I watched them have a schedule, and we there 4 days out the week. And I watched the schedule switch, but I never watched anybody be like under pressure. They just like pick up wherever they need it. If Jen is sick somehow, boom, here come Molly like Superman. Like, they just always figured it out. They never let the kids see them like not figure it out. Peace House always go on, no matter what, the show go on. So that's the thing I love about Peace House. Even like on my downest days, Peace House let me know like, hey, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna get it together. It's gonna go on. The show goes on. My kids, they love Peace House so much, especially Romaine. Romaine has been at Peace House since he was born.
It's true. He learned to walk there.
He
I mean,
learned to
not
walk.
technically, but he went from like baby.
I watched my
to
baby
toddler.
crawl up the slide at like 1.5, 2.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah, we do. I mean, we do try to be really consistent. So, like, if there's thunder and lightning, there's not much we can do. We have to close because that's a safety thing.
Yeah.
But we are out there in the rain. We're out there in the snow. We're out there when it's 100 degrees and all their programs are shutting down. But we have so many trees in our yard, and we just drink a ton of water and put the sprinklers on. And so we make it work, right? In the winter, we just get deep into the snow play. We just make sure everybody has warm stuff on. And then we have it's a 2-car garage that we converted into like a room. So that's kind of like our headquarters where everything happens out of that space, but it's heated. So there's always a place to warm up, and there's a place to sit down and do homework or read a book. So yeah, we've kind
So
of
is that
set,
like your after school zone too, where you do like homework help? And...
that's what we're doing right now. It's a little bit harder in the winter because kids do get cold, and so there's a lot more coming and going from that space. But we make it work.
For the most part, kids like to use that as a time to play in the snow.
Yeah.
If they don't have homework, they're knee deep. Hey, can I get some snow pants? Yes, you can.
We got these sleds, and we try to build runs for the sleds. Not usually very successful, but we try really hard. Get halfway down the slope that we live on.
And our most enthusiastic sledder that we've ever had is Jennifer's daughter, Janaya.
She was.
She
She always
was
was.
just
She
like-
still is.
I was like, oh, they always used to run back to the house and like, Mom, we just went sledding at pizza. Like, they used to have, maybe we're really having fun down here. It's great in the wintertime.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
It's good to be outside in the winter.
She was so young and she was so cold, and I was just like, "Do you want to go inside and warm up? Like, are you, she's like shivering." She's like, "No." I'm like, "Do you want to do another run?" She's like, "Yeah." Yep.
Yeah.
What do you, as we go into the winter, do you have any like special events or things that you're kind of on your radar? I know it's not winter yet. I don't know how much of a dirty word that is.
Yeah, no. Well, we've already had a bit of winter, right? So we're getting warmed up to it. We do a big holiday party every year, so we've done that for like 15, 16 years now. We rent out the social hall at St. Mary's Church, which is in the Eastside neighborhood, so it's like pretty easy to get to. And we have a big meal, and we have crafts, and we've done different things over the years, but last time we got a photographer to do family photos, and we have hot cocoa, and then we give out gifts to the kids. So it's a very fun event. Really, we're very open. Like if you have used to be part of Peace House, but you moved, like we still would be like, you should come,
It's a good one to come back.
Yeah, like our older,
Well, it's always a family reunion,
yeah, it's kind of like a reunion, exactly. So that's a big event that we do every December.
It'd be a good night.
And you eat good, and your kids go home, and they're gonna sleep good.
Yes, it'd be a whole good night. I love doing that.
Yeah.
I love that. It'd be a good night. Like early when y'all come out. When they come home, open their gifts, eat some food, some more food,
Yeah,
and then they go to sleep.
I got lots of good ideas for this year. We're just starting to plan it.
I miss the Peace House stomp.
Oh yeah, we did do that for a couple of
We used
years.
to do a square dance called the Peace House Stomp.
Yeah, that was a fundraiser. It was so much work, like with any fundraiser.
What is the?
It was
Peace
called
House
the
Stomp?
Peace House Stomp because it was
Stomp,
like
okay.
it was like a square dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. We did that for.
And yeah,
2
we,
years.
we hired an old time Americana band and a square dance collar, and like people came and danced together.
Oh wow.
It was
At
that was also at St. Mary's
St. Mary's,
Church.
yeah.
It was a big gymnasium hall type place.
Yeah.
And we did that 2 years in a row, and both of them were so fun. But it was so much work, So like early on, our thing was like we were dreaming big always, right? And we're like, here's something we could do, right? And we just did it. And then as we went on, and then like our kids got older too, and then they got involved in stuff, right? And so our calendars got more constrained. We were like, okay, what's our sweet spot? Like, what do we do, right? We do like community building with grown-ups and programming with kids, and so that's like our core mission, and so we haven't been branching out much into kind of new territory, But now our kids are getting older and they're leaving, so we might throw you another stomp. Yeah,
That's right.
It could
I'm gonna throw
happen.
y'all one.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, now we're talking.
All right.
Yeah.
So what is the community building with grown-ups, as you called it? What does that look like?
I mean, it's really just relationship building and getting to know them. And we do have like family events, right? So that's a great chance to get to know the grown-ups. Like, at the beginning of our summer, we have a big family party, and it's very similar, just kind of what we've been talking about, just like a lot of food, just fun stuff.
We just did like sugar scrubs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was like
Oh,
no
this
kids.
is the adult. This is the craft for the adults.
Okay.
and the moms.
Jennifer's been trying to get
No,
on this. Yeah.
because the sugar stuff, it was so fun. Even though it was only a couple of us, but it was like just relaxed, like. And
They
really
show
set
their
up with
appreciation.
Yeah,
to
like
the
they set
parents.
that up for us. Like, well, they let the kids, they have the kids, and it was just.
Wait, can you explain what sugar scrub is? Because I don't think people are gonna know.
So like it's like for your body. You pick a scent and it's like a soap and sugar that you can rub on your body. It had just like my skin was so soft and glossy.
It really
So it was
worked.
like
And it's sugar.
yeah, sugar.
I'm just learning this myself, so
It
I
was
wasn't at that
Oh
event.
yeah,
so.
you've got to try sugar scrub.
Yeah.
You
Sugar
missed out
scrub
on a
is
good one.
Yeah.
And it
We've
really
done
worked, too.
candles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We done spas. And this is the parents, not the kids. No kids though. They're out in the back playing.
Yeah.
So I
we need
love
to
that
do
they
more of
show
that.
their appreciation to the parents too.
The whole time it was no interruption.
No interruption. That's right.
No, mom.
Like, thank you.
I could see it happening too. We guarded that door.
No, you can't go talk to your mom. She's busy.
We're good. We're good at that. Yeah.
Where do you see yourselves continuing with this? Because we've talked a little bit in the past, right? And I feel like as Americans, we have this thing about growth that seems to matter. But I don't know, like, what do you see happening with Peace House?
That's a great question.
These are
I don't want
conversations.
to know.
I want to
These are
know.
conversations that
they
we're
were.
having all the time.
Yeah.
And the one great thing about Peace House and how we've set it up, the kernel of it was, here are 4 friends who are going to do a thing, right? And we're not a traditional 501c3 nonprofit. We have a lot of flexibility in what we can do, what we decide to do with our energy and our resources, and people trust us to do that. So during COVID, we spent a lot of time just like passing out food and toilet paper, and Jennifer's kids joined us for like a little like learning pod in our garage. That was really great. And then sometimes we've gone big, sometimes we've gone smaller, but we've always had 2 questions in mind, like what does the neighborhood need, and what are we actually able to do? And where those 2 things meet is where we always end up, and that's where we're gonna keep having those conversations and keep changing. So it's hard to say where we're gonna be in 5 years or anything, but it's just gonna be a continual conversation about what's right for us to do.
What I love about what y'all do is that it is so local. I feel like even like neighborhood associations do great things around the city, they're for an entire neighborhood. But and not that this isn't, part of the neighborhood, but because the Eastside goes on in a couple different directions, but people live and work here, interact with Peace House that is the same place. That's so special to have that as a resource to parents and families. I've been blessed to interact with you on a few things for different art type stuff, and I've always just it's been an honor to participate in those things because again you're not just giving, you're receiving when you're doing those community minded activities. And now we have our shop that's over on the on the cusp of the east side, and so I think you see the benefits of what happens that's so close in the community.
Yeah, we're there, and we don't have any plans to go anywhere. So, who knows what the future holds? None of us really knows.
Sure.
But we love the neighborhood. It's been a great place to like live and raise our own kids, and I can only say good things about the Eastside neighborhood, and I think it only is going to continue to kind of grow and improve. So yeah.
Well, you're part of that improvement, so that's a wonderful thing. How do people, if they're interested, how do they get a hold of you?
We do have a
Yeah,
website.
decent website.
Yeah,
we have a good
we
website.
kind of worked on that last year. So if anybody can, name off the website address, that would be great.
All right. The best advice that I could give anybody is to just Google Peace House Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
And not only will you find our website, but you'll find our phone numbers out there and a bunch of great media, a lot of articles from like Second Wave and the Kalamazoo Gazette. Some other sources are out there about us. You can get your fill of Peace House content without looking too hard.
There are links also if people are interested in volunteering. So that gets turned into an email that we then see. And
Oh, there's a contact form on the
there
website.
is. Yep. And there's also a form for parents to fill out for registration for their kids. So, like, if those are your two interests, then there's kind of, it's naturally tailored for that. We're very careful with kids' pictures. So, like, we take pictures on our phone when cool stuff is going on a beautiful day, but we wind up not doing too much with those pictures because we do want to keep that private. So
We do have pictures on the website, though, because we asked permission, and so we put some on the website. I actually need to update
Like
the
you said,
website.
cool pictures. I thought about that picture for my baby shower.
That was great. All right, we have to explain it now that you brought it up.
So, throughout my pregnancy, I was pregnant with twins last year. And I worked at Peace House, and I brought my 3-year-old. Remains 3 years.
So that was past summer, but the summer before.
And they threw me a surprise baby shower. So they kept telling me, like, hey, don't come to work. Don't come to work. So I was, like, not coming to work that week. And then they find something like, hey, Bree, what are you doing? You want to come to work today? But you're not going to work. So I'm like, okay. I get to work, and it's, like, blue and pink everywhere.
She had a boy and a girl.
So I couldn't participate in the baby shower games, but they did baby shower games for all of the kids. Because the kids were they were a part of my pregnancy. Like, they were helping me pick names and everything. So we did a pregnant balloon race. And my 3-year-old at the time had a balloon.
They put a balloon up under their shirt.
And he was running past so fast, and Jerry got a picture of him. And it's so funny. And I just love looking at it because to him, he won the race. But yeah, all the kids were a part of my pregnancy.
It was beautiful.
It's really
And
cool.
every time I bring in the Peace House, I don't get to hold my kids. I don't get to touch my kids. The older kids, they take those babies and they just be walking around with the twins.
Oh, yeah, their feet never touch the ground.
Yep.
No.
As we wrap up today's show, let's just roundtable it. Let's start off. Jerry?
yeah.
Just saying whatever we want.
Yeah.
What's important to you?
So for me, I really struggle when Donald Trump is the president of our country. I really don't like it, and I don't like his influence on people, and I don't like how mean-spirited things have gotten, and I don't like the racism, and there's a lot that I don't like about what's going on the national and global scene. And Peace House has been a really saving place for me because it's a place where I can live according to what I do believe, and it's just a very important part of my day and my week and my life.
Finding power in your own community. Yeah, very important. Yeah, more than ever.
Mm-hmm. That's really hard to follow. I guess for me, and I know we already touched on this, but it's really for me about all the people that have helped build up our space and be a part of it over the years. And some of those people aren't with us anymore. So that's also very, it's, these people are a part of your life and you love them and they love the kids and they come and then all of a sudden they're gone, right? That's happened a couple times in the past couple of years. And so just to kind of hold people up and remember that it takes, right, a lot of people to kind of make this happen, and we all are there for each other, and that's kind of, why it works the way it does.
So,
Just saying.
okay. Well, I really appreciate Peace House because how they take their time Like, I just feel like that's big. You see, because they got their own lives and stuff. So, like, for them to just be taking their time out to do something, I would say they love this because they doing it, but I'm saying just, like, I just feel like time matters for them to take the amount of time they do to be with our kids. I just feel like that's really big in my heart.
Like she was saying, I wanna thank Peace House. Without y'all, I wouldn't be who I am now. I watch y'all change over a lot of years, but y'all never gave up on any of my dreams. Y'all always motivated me. My kids, that's their safe space. So, yeah, I just love Peace House, and I love that y'all get up every day and y'all do it. And I just want to let y'all know that we appreciate it because it takes a village. And y'all are my village. And I used to be one of those kids that were sneaking and cussing, and now I'm the Peace House queen. I'm the queen. Once I became a mother, I swear, y'all, I can hear them. I could be deep in the woods. I can hear them all the way in the basketball court. And I yell from the back, language. Y'all made me the mother that I am today. And I just love that. And I love that I'm a part of the Peace House kids and that they know I mean business. I don't have to say nothing. I can walk around the corner and they know, hey, Free is back. I appreciate y'all letting me be who I am.
Well, I am always super grateful that we had four youngish adults at that time just starting their families with a kind of a crazy idea, something that we really wanted to do, like a life that we really wanted to build for ourselves. And people believed in that idea. Our neighbors believed in that idea. Parents believed in that idea. The kids got in on that idea. And it's amazing to just live in the middle of this incredible space that is created by all of these people. I mean, sometimes it feels like we can just watch it go. Like it's sort of like, I'm not going to say that we're not always working, but like it's sort of self-animated, you know. And I don't know. There's a culture there. There's a vibe. Kids who have been there, they could be gone for a bunch of years and come back and remember that vibe, and it feels good to them. It settles in deep, and it's just good to share that vibe with all those people. Have that same Peace House feeling that all these other people are sharing. And I don't know, I'm just filled with gratitude about it.
Well, I think that your name embodies your goals, and it shows. So thank you so much for being on the show today. It's really special. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Yeah, and thanks to Free and Jennifer for stepping away from their families to join us, because it would not have been the same with us three just talking. So thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.